Hey everyone, how are you guys doing? Welcome back to another episode of a Doctor Who reaction. This is Hard Live. My name is Matt. Here we are. Series 9, Episode 12. Got a feeling it's a big one. I gotta say. So, this is the part where I talk about the previous episode. But the previous episode was a depressive journey through the Doctor's own personal hell, and I feel very confident in saying that that was the least fun episode of Doctor Who we've had, just in general. Um, yeah, I don't mean to say that it was bad. It was a really good episode, but I felt like shit. So, so now that we have the spiritual journey through purgatory out of the way, we need to move forward into the finale. I know this is a finale. We're just gonna do that. So Clara has died and faced the Raven. We got to see the Doctor's thoughts after that happens. The Doctor dealing with that, and we also got to see the Doctor living through like 7,000 years, or just trapped in this mansion with this like one monster that was a nightmare that he had when he was a kid, and do that for like, I don't know, like 2 billion years or some shit like that. It wasn't the same. Well, it was the same Doctor, but it wasn't really the same Doctor. So like, the question that you start posing then is like, has the Doctor like actually legitimately die, and we just get to have a copy of him do the rest of the show? And the answer is probably. I thought about that, and it's like probably. I don't understand fully how that worked. If it was some kind of time traveling shenanigans, then it's not really a copy. It's just the same version of you. But if he said he was like a 3D printer, so copy. However, like, I don't even know if whatever we saw there was even real. It could have been just some kind of mind palace, because it kind of was. It was a mind palace. So whatever. That episode was fucked. It's been a couple of hours since I watched it. By the way, it's been like 5 hours. So I thought about it for a little bit, not too much, but I process it, and it's out, and I'm good. So now we gotta see what happens this episode. The Doctor at the end, first of all, most importantly, came out of his confession dial, which was the Mind Palace Nightmare place, and he found himself in Gallifrey. And then a kid walked up to him, and he was like, "Okay, kid, go to whatever nearest city there is, talk to whatever random adult you find, and tell him that I'm back, that I came out of whatever that place was, and that then I took the long way round, that I took the long route, the high road, low road, whatever. I took the long route, which was essentially the choice that Capaldi had. Instead of giving the answer to whatever the nightmare beast, or just punch the wall. And he decided to punch the wall for 2 billion years instead of actually giving up and giving the answer. So that was the long way around. So that's what we did. Fuck. That was fun. Yeah. We're just gonna watch this episode. Let's just go and do it. Let's just go and do it. Alright, so Series 9, Episode 12. Let's go. Alright. If I didn't have a previous lead that just told me what happened, I would not have thought that this was the right episode. That was... It's like... Yeah, that's Clara. Well, I don't even know if it's Clara, it's just Jenna Coleman. I do remember that there's like a million versions of Clara after the finale of Series 7. So this might be another version of Clara.
You've been traveling?
Yeah.
Yeah. Not gonna lie, Capaldi just made me want to buy a guitar, honestly.
Is it a sad song?
Nothing's sad till it's over. Then everything is.
that it's called Clara.
Tell me about her.
Hell bent. So tell me what happened. So that was like the after the fact. That's the barn, isn't it? The barn. Listen, Day of the Doctor. All that stuff. Just Cloisterville. Guess who's back? That's where he slept. Upstairs. And Clara was there that one time, I think. That was his bed.
What's gone wrong this time? All the fuss they're always making. You up there, you're not supposed to be there. Only just put all that back. It's
Who are
for
you?
the boys. If any of them ever want to come. They'll kill you.
We could talk to him. Words are his weapons. When did they stop being ours?
Someone came to talk?
Welcome home, sir.
Yeah.
As commander of the armed forces of Gallifrey, I bring you the greetings of the High Council.
Who the hell does he think he is?
Someone
The
that
man
doesn't
who won
give
the
a shit.
Time War, sir.
Yeah. What is the relationship here? Are they just like super angry at the fact that he just like teleported them away? Just a straight up High Council came by. Still.
He just blames you.
You specifically? Is he Rassilon? They said Lord President earlier, but I'm not sure if it's Rassilon or not. The confession dial.
Get off my planet.
If you'd told us what you knew, you could have walked out of there.
Get off my planet.
Take aim! Aim at the Doctor! Fire on my command!
Nobody actually wants to do it. That's the thing. Nobody actually.
He's a war.
Okay, so that's the relationship.
These men served with
These men served me!
Yeah, fuck the Lord President. Everyone else kind of likes the Doctor because he did save the whole planet. So.
Could I have a lemonade?
Oh, you like a cliffhanger, don't you?
Did he just disappear? No.
Missed.
Nobody actually shot him. Nobody actually wanted to shoot at him.
There's a saying, sir, in the Time War.
A saying.
First thing you'll notice about the Doctor of War is he's unarmed. For many, it's also the last.
Stories are what memories go when they're forgotten.
Fuck you, President.
How many regenerations did we grant you? I've got all night.
Everyone saw it.
Excellent General, you sent for reinforcements.
No, he didn't.
He did.
I did.
They know better.
I am Rassilon.
He's Russell, okay.
President. With respect. Get off his planet.
That's great. This is fantastic. He's just out. Just fuck this guy. He's out.
Gallifrey is currently positioned at the extreme end of the time continuum for its own protection.
I thought I'd find you down here. Old times.
You're a long way from Khan.
At the end of everything, one must expect the company of immortals.
Confession dial is a ritual act of purification. Allows a dying Time Lord to face his demons and make his peace before his mind is blown never intended as a torture chamber for the living.
Rassilon grew concerned about the coming of the hybrid.
Afraid.
You were entrapped and imprisoned at his command.
And look at him now.
Why did you banish him? Was it punishment or for your own protection? Were you just being cruel? Or just being cowardly?
Let's see, shall we?
The hybrid is a legendary
No.
being.
No.
The hybrid is a creature thought to be crossbred from two warrior races.
Hence the name.
The Daleks and the Time Lords, it is supposed.
It's supposed.
Hard, then.
Unstoppable, according to the stories.
If they're just stories, why are you so worried?
Some Matrix prophecies suggest.
No.
All Matrix prophecies concur that this creature will one day stand in the ruins of Gallifrey. It will unravel the web of time and destroy a billion hearts to heal its own.
I'm going to need the use of an extraction chamber to talk to an old friend.
The world. Time has stopped.
This way. I can save you.
Pretty sure that's not how this works. Pretty sure she needs to go back. Otherwise, time breaks.
Hang on, wait, what?
Yeah, exactly.
Did I miss something?
Well, we're several billion years in the future, and the universe is pretty much over, so yeah, quite a lot.
It's weird, everything sounds wrong.
It's a side effect.
I can hear you fine. It's like, but I don't know, it's like something's missing.
There's a sound you've been living with every day of your life, but you've learned not to hear.
What sound? What's wrong? Just tell me. Doctor, what sound?
Your heartbeat. Your physical processes have been time-locked. Frozen between one heartbeat and the next. Even your breathing is just a habit. You don't need it.
Death is an established historical event and cannot be altered. I'm sorry.
Doctor, will you just talk to me?
I'll try not to break your jaw.
Jaw?
I wasn't talking to you.
Doctor, you can't do this, you know.
No, General, I don't know that. Everybody, stay exactly where you are. No moving about. On pain of death, no one take a selfie.
These people are unarmed.
So are you.
He's doing this just to save Clara.
I will not let Clara die.
Oh.
She's been dead for half the lifetime of the universe.
Oh,
If you
this
try
is
to
bad.
change that, you could fracture time itself.
He's crossing the line. I was thinking about why did he bring Clara back for information about the hybrid? No. He's just doing this because he needs to have Clara. He can't let go.
Regeneration. 10. Good luck. You too, sir. I want a neural block.
Come on.
Compatible. Quickly, come on.
This Clara person, you must really like her.
Flow. Med team to sector 52, extraction chamber.
He's regenerating.
Regeneration in progress.
Okay, he's black.
Are you alright, sir?
It's a woman. Okay.
Sorry, ma'am.
How long has it been for you since you last saw me?
2 billion years.
Oh, I'm not sure.
How long?
I was stuck in a place.
They...
Yeah, but
What? Who are we talking about?
They wanted something from me, information. It really doesn't matter.
How much time? Stay back.
I'm sorry, but we have to find a way to
I
extract
said
you.
stay back!
It doesn't matter what the hybrid is. It only matters that I convinced them that I knew. Otherwise, they would have kicked me out. I'd have nothing left to bargain with.
What were you bargaining for?
What do you think? I had to find a way to save you. I knew it had to be the Time Lords. They cost you your life on Trap Street, Clara. And I was going to make them bring you back. I just had to hang on in there for a bit.
How long was the Doctor trapped inside the confession dell?
We think 4.5 billion years.
He could have left any time he wanted. He just had to say what he knew. The dial would have released him.
was dead and gone. Why? Why would you even do that to yourself?
I had a duty of care.
People like me and you, we should say things to one another.
Yes.
And I'm going to say them now. You are hated by everybody, but by nobody more than me. The Doctor is back on Gallifrey. Took him 4.5 billion years to get here. What do you think he's going to do now?
Escape.
Why, he's stealing a TARDIS and running away. Bye.
Oh, that's a classic TARDIS. Oh, that's an even classicer.
I backed up a bit.
Can you hear me? Get out of that TARDIS and face me, boy!
Boy.
You have gone too far. You have broken every code you ever lived by.
After all this time, after everything I've done, don't you think the universe owes me this?
See, now Paul's right.
Still there.
Is it still there?
Yeah.
Don't lie to me.
Maybe we just have to fly a little bit farther. We'll be fine.
You can't change the events that brought you here. That's how paradoxes work.
Always.
That is the rule that we have set.
You'll be all right. You'll have a heartbeat, or don't you trust me anymore?
No, not when you're shouting.
It should work. This has got
He's
to.
lying to himself.
What if one last heartbeat's all I've got? What if time isn't healing? What if the universe needs me to die?
The universe is over. It doesn't have a say anymore.
How can there be anybody there?
4 knocks. It's always 4 knocks. Small enough for you yet? Hello, me.
You don't seem surprised to see me.
At the end of everything, we should expect the company of the mortals, so I've been told.
You don't like endings. She died, Doctor. Clara died billions of years ago.
And how do you remember that?
No.
You let it happen.
No, I didn't. Neither did you. She did. She died for who she was and for who she loved. She felt where she stood. It was sad. And it was beautiful. And it is over. You know why we run, Doctor?
Because it's fun.
Because we know summer can't last forever.
Of course it can. Of course it can. You just have to steal a time machine.
The hybrid. 5 minutes to hell. I think it's time to tell the truth. Tell me, Doctor, I've always wondered. You're a Time Lord. You're a highborn Gallifreyan. Why is it you spend so much time on Earth?
That's your best theory. I'm the hybrid. I ran away from Gallifrey because I was afraid of myself.
Is it true?
Doesn't matter.
No. Because I have a better theory. What if the hybrid wasn't one person, but 2?
It wouldn't be a hybrid.
2.
A dangerous
It
combination
would just be 2 people.
of a passionate and powerful Time Lord and a young woman so very similar to him. Companions who are willing to push each other to extremes.
She's my friend. She's just my friend.
How did you meet her? Missy.
Missy.
Missy. The Master. The lover of chaos. Who wants you to love it too. She's quite the matchmaker.
That's why I'm doing what I'm doing.
And what would that be?
I'm taking her back to Earth. Somewhere safe, somewhere out of the way. I'm going to wipe a memory of every last detail of me. It'll be like our friendship never happened.
That may not be what she wants.
I've done it before. Usually I do it telepathically. But this time, I've got something better.
No. Doctor, whatever you're about to do, don't do it.
It won't hurt. It'll be nothing. You'll just pass out for a moment.
And then?
When you wake, you will be fine.
But
Clara, just listen to me.
just say it. Say it. Come on. Tell me.
When you wake up, you will have forgotten me. You'll have forgotten we ever even met.
And why would I want that? I use these.
On what?
That.
What did you do?
What do you think?
The shield was right, you see? We're too alike. What else do you think I did? I reversed the polarity. Push that button, Doctor. It will go off in your own face.
You're trying to trick me.
What are you trying to do to me?
I'm trying to keep you safe.
Why? Nobody's ever safe. I've never asked you for that, ever. These have been the best years of my life, and they are mine.
And she doesn't regret them.
What am I doing? You're right. You're always right. Look how far I went for fear of losing you. This has to stop. One of us has to go.
You really don't know it?
Let's find out.
The Christmas thing
How about we just
on Time of the Doctor
Why don't we
and on
just
Last Christmas.
fly away somewhere?
Oh, that'd be great, wouldn't it?
So, what happens now?
Suppose we just wait a minute.
One of us. I don't think I could ever forget you.
Clara, I don't think you're ever gonna have to.
He's forgetting.
Run like hell because you always need to. Laugh at everything because it's always funny.
Don't say goodbye.
Never be cruel and never be cowardly. And if you ever are, always make amends.
Stop! Stop it!
Memory prayers. They're too squishy and they always make your chin wet. That one is quite important. Write it down.
I didn't mean to do this. I'm sorry.
It's okay. Oh, it's okay. I went too far. I broke all my own rules. I became the hybrid. This is right.
There has to be something I can do.
Smile for me. Go on. Clara Oswald. One last time.
How could I smile?
It's okay. Don't you worry. I'll remember it. What am I?
Clara asked me to look after you. She said you might be a bit upset.
Clara who?
Doesn't.
When something goes missing, you can always recreate it by the hole it left. I know her name was Clara.
So that's
I know we traveled together.
the
I
twist.
know that there was an ice warrior on a submarine and a mummy on the Orient Express. I know we sat together in the cloisters and she told me something very important, but I have no idea what she said. Or what she looked like.
That's the twist.
You don't know who you're looking for. I mean, she could be me, for all you know.
There's one thing I know about her. Just one thing. If I met her again, I would absolutely know. I think that we were here, you know? I think that we were here together once.
Yeah, once.
Stupid dog. Amy and Rory. It was Amy and Rory.
Oh, is this the same spot?
You said memories become stories when we forget them. Maybe some of them become songs.
That would be nice.
And they just left the TARDIS there. Ah, and it has the painting that Rexy did.
My death is a fixed event. The universe depends on it happening. I'm sorry. Why? Why does everybody think I am so scared? We all face the Raven in the end. That is the deal.
She's just gonna.
Seeing as I'm not actually aging, there's still a tiny little bit of wiggle room, isn't there?
She's just gonna fuck around for a while. Is it gonna travel for a while with a shielder? Why not?
Gallifrey. The long way around.
The long way around, of course. And it is just a fucking diner flying off into space. That's so funny. He realizes that was Clara now. I mean, the moment the diner dematerialized, it was like a giveaway. Of course. Of course. You're just gonna get the velvet jacket again. Oh shit! I want that. I want that screwdriver so bad. Holy shit. It looks like a fucking World of Warcraft magic wand. Oh, I like how the camera is rotating with it. And the painting falls because it's not part of the TARDIS. So they actually physically move. Oh! Oh! The way they crossed each other! That was hellbent. Holy shit. Okay, so I like that the storyline. Okay, so this felt a little weird, but I like it in like when you look at it in paper, it's like, oh, that's cool. I guess, but it felt weird watching it. But this this finale, as well as this entire storyline, has just been like main character focus. So here's the thing: is that usually in the finales, and let's list them. So series 1, the Daleks, whatever. Series 2, the Cybermen, whatever. Series 3, Master, whatever. Series 4, Daleks again, whatever. Series 5, fucking everything. The fucking Big Band, the Pandorica, whatever. Everyone. So whatever. I guess it was somewhat main character centered, but not really. Series 6, yeah, I guess the thing about Series 6 was the Doctor not dying, or dying, but not dying. Series 7 was Clara. So I guess it was somewhat main character-y, but not entire. Like, here's the thing, is that there is an event that happens in every single one of these, right? But Series 8, then we had Death in Heaven with Cyberman and like, yeah, like the random Cybermen just flying around and people coming back, like whatever. Series 9. So I said it in the previous episode that I know that Face the Raven and Heaven Sent are not like they are technically like part, they are technically connected and they are part of like a 3-parter, but they don't feel like it. That's what he said. Hellbent also doesn't feel like it, but the reason why is because there is not an overarching event or plot that goes through this entire thing, like a struggle, like, well, that's the wrong word because I guess it technically applies, like an event that happens that we need to take action of. There's not something that happens about that. There's not a clear main antagonist, right? There's not something or someone we need to save. We don't need to save the Earth, you know? We don't need to save this planet. We don't need to defeat that guy. We don't need to do any of that. Instead, what we have is a plot line, a storyline where the problem is the fact that Capaldi can't handle Clara dying. And sorry I say Capaldi, because like I look at this character and I'm like, that's the Doctor. I'm like, oh, that's Capaldi. Like, that's just how I do it. So I'm sorry if I say that and you think I'm talking about the actor. If we're talking about the actor, I'm just gonna say the actor as an actor. But Capaldi, Doctor, the 12th Doctor, the storyline is that he cannot bear losing Clara, essentially. So the storyline here is in episode 10, Face the Raven. That was 10, yeah, that was 10. Clara dies. And it's awful, it sucks, and it's... But the thing is that then, after Clara dies, in the process of Clara dying, like the moment that it is realized that Clara's about to die, we see the Doctor flip his shit in rage. And like, that's the thing, this Doctor is fucking scary. No Doctor has been as scary as Capaldi has been. Because Capaldi's really intense. And usually he does a great job at not being really intense. Because it's the Doctor. Like, the Doctor isn't really usually that intense. Because it's just fun adventures, right? But the moment that it is realized that Clara's gonna die, he's like, I'll bring the Daleks, I'll bring the Cybermen, I'll bring the Time Lords, I'm just gonna nuke this fucking place out if you don't fucking save Clara. That was scary, and I remember being scared there, and Clara was scared. And that's why Clara told him everything that she told him before leaving. But the Doctor just refused to actually listen to her, because he's a stubborn piece of shit. Because of course he is. So, like, now we have more context to Heaven Sent, because Heaven Sent is like... the only reason why he didn't tell them, like, the information about the hybrid, was because he wanted to take the long way round to get Clara back, essentially. Because he knew that he took over Gallifrey, he would just be able to get Clara back by doing that weird shit that they did. And then immediately betrayed everyone because it's like, I need to save Clara. I don't give a shit about this. I don't give a shit about Gallifrey. I don't give a shit about y'all. I'm gonna save Clara. That's what I came here to do. That's why I stayed over 4 billion years in that chamber of, like, suffering. Because I have to save Clara. And, like, that's the thing. Is that during the full, like, 4.5 billion years, he kept, like, imagining Clara. And we saw that in Heaven Sent. We saw that in the previous episode. That he actually, the entire time, he continuously came back to his own mind place, which was represented as a TARDIS, and Clara was there, like, turning his back on him and writing stuff on the board. Like, he actually kept thinking back to Clara, as if Clara was there. It's and with the recontextualization of this episode, it's just like, he can't let go. That's the problem here, and that is the overarching plot of this finale, this 3-parter, is that we don't have, like, a specific real enemy. We don't have, like, a specific, like event that we need to stop or something like that. It's like, no, it's Capaldi's storyline. It's Capaldi's unwillingness to let go and accept that Clara dies. And I think that is actually, like, very fitting. Because I've said this before. Capaldi, the 12th Doctor, feels like a very vulnerable Doctor. I've said this before. Like other Doctors, you can see moments of vulnerability, and usually they feel sincere. Like, not every Doctor, but like okay, so like the Doctor just feels emotions, right? And like just like every Doctor has emotion and has moments. The 12th Doctor feels like a character that is consistently avoiding expressing himself or just running away from emotions. But he's consistently, like, whenever they catch up to him, he's paralyzed. And he doesn't know what to do, and he freaks the fuck out. And he just lashes out. The 12th Doctor in particular feels like the most about this. And like the 12th Doctor essentially only has Clara. Like, let's be honest. The 12th Doctor essentially only has Clara. He feels like a hermit that doesn't really do anything else other than just hang out with Clara. So the moment Clara dies, it's like he got so angry, and it makes sense. He lashed out, but like his thought wasn't I'm just gonna nuke everything. His thought was I'm gonna do whatever I can to save Clara, even if the universe refuses to let me. Which is what I'm drawing parallels now. This it's like Dark Water again. It's like Dark Water again. When Danny died, Clara she tried to like ninja the TARDIS keys and just like put the Doctor to sleep and throw the keys to a volcano, and she did. Like that's the thing, she did. She thought she did in the dream thing, and then the Doctor was like, no, that was just me putting you into a dream state, and I could allow the dream to continue going to see how far would you go. And that's the thing. It's like Capaldi understood that Clara didn't mean any of that. She's just fucked up after Danny, and she would do anything to bring him back. And Capaldi is doing the exact same thing for Clara in here, and in previous episode, I guess. So like, I was right in the previous episode. I said this, that they actually wanted us to think that the hybrid was gonna be like the main thing this season, but the hybrid really doesn't matter. It really doesn't. Like I remember now someone said in the comments, like the hybrid, like the worst storyline of modern Doctor Who. Here's the thing, the hybrid is not a storyline. I don't think it is. I think the hybrid is a bait. The hybrid is just supposed to make you think that is going to be the main storyline. And it's like, oh, it's going to be the main bad guy. Like, oh, the big bad hybrid. And you're just consistently thinking about that. When in reality, the storyline this season has been every time that Capaldi and Clara have had this conversation of like, Clara, you're being too reckless. And she's like, yeah, whatever, it doesn't matter, it's fine. And Capaldi is like, listen, if something would happen to you, like, I have duty of care. And he said that multiple times, and he brought it back this episode. That was the storyline. The storyline was not about the hybrid or whatever menace you want to throw on screen, because there's no clear antagonist. The storyline this season has been the Doctor's and Clara's relationship leading up to Clara's death, and the Doctor's emotions on that event, essentially. So the more I think about it, the more I think it's brilliant, actually. The more I think about what the season did, the more brilliant I think it is. Okay, I'm not going to talk about the season. I'm going to do a separate video on that, possibly. I done one for Series 8, so I'm probably going to do the same for Series 9. But, okay, let's talk about this episode on its own. But, like, okay, because, like, this was just one big fancy finale for Clara. That's what it was. For Clara and the 12th Doctor dealing with it. Because he's too emotional. And he's unwilling to let go. Which I think is fair. Because I did get the impression that their chemistry is strong. Like, well, not necessarily the chemistry, but their relationship. The way they feel about each other. They care so much for each other. This has been documented on like every episode. We've had them from Series 8 until this point. And like I said this before in a review before this, but it's like Clara in Series 7, I didn't feel too strongly about her. Because I didn't really care about this, like, oh, I'm flirting with you, and the Doctor will flirt back to her, Matt Smith. And I'm like, I understand that this is how these characters are, but I don't like this. Like, they had good chemistry together, but I'm not a big romance guy, and that didn't even feel like romance. I was just flirting, and I don't like the flirting. So, and as well as Clara, I thought it was like too clever, to the point that it didn't feel like she was a character. She felt like, well, she didn't feel like a person. She felt like a character, like too blatantly. Series 8 is when they started, I feel, developing Clara way more than in Series 7. In Series 7, I don't think it mattered. Series 8 is when stuff started to happen. And we had really crucial episodes looking back now, such as Kill the Moon, Mom and the Orient Express, and like every episode after that, Dark Water, fucking Dark Water, my dude. Like all of these episodes were about their relationship, like bumps in their relationship, essentially. Like Clara just in Kill the Moon, she was like done with him. She was so upset, and the doctor, like, I assume he came. Yeah, he totally came around to it, and he was like, she was right. We had Caretaker, where he didn't like Danny at all, but the reason why is because he cared about Clara, and he didn't think Danny was good enough for Clara, and eventually he kind of came around to it a little bit. In Mommy is when Clara decides, I need, like, I'm gonna say, I can't let go of this life. And the talk from Kill the Moon to Mommy is when Clara is like, so Clara's like upset in the way the doctor does things, and then the doctor decide, well, and then it's more clear that the doctor is really doing everything for good, essentially, or for the greater good, or whatever. Whatever. I'm not gonna talk about previous season, but like I'm trying to denote that their relationship has had a lot of bumps, and I appreciate that a lot. I can see how when you're watching, okay, so this is weird to say, but it's like when you're watching Kill the Moon, when you're watching Mummy, when you're watching Dark Water, at the time, they feel like it's like, oh, why is this relationship like so fucked up? But when you see the whole picture, which is Clara up until, let's say from Series 7 or 8, whatever. I don't like the Series 7 thing, but I might be misremembering. I watched it like 6 years ago. But like from the moment Clara shows up to the moment Clara leaves here in Hellbent, their relationship goes all over the place. You can see it develop, makes so much sense, and it's so much better than whatever I could think about. Because I said a lot of bumps and the Dark Water thing, it was fucking crazy. But then in Series 9, in Last Christmas, and then Death in Heaven, she decides to leave because for his good, so he can go Gallifrey and chill out. And he decides to leave her so she can have a happy life with Danny. But they don't tell each other because they care so much about each other. But they just lie to each other's faces because, fuck it, we're just gonna lie in order to make the other one happy, even though both are unhappy. They just don't talk to each other. And they actually kind of brought that back this episode when they said, people like us, we need to actually tell the truth. And it's like, yes, you have to. And then, so building up the relationship in Series 9, it's like, yes, consistently it was brought up at the topic of like, Clara, I need to take care of you. And Clara is like, it's fine. You don't need to worry about me. I'm fine. You know? And that was what ended up killing her, because she did end up getting too reckless, and the doctor saw it coming and he didn't do anything about it. So of course he blames himself for it, but it's not really his fault at all. Like I did say it was his fault, I think, but it wasn't really his, like, he blames himself for it, but he shouldn't. Because, like, here's the thing, and this is what a Shielder, or me, tells the doctor, is, you didn't kill her, she didn't... Okay, no, a Shielder tells the doctor, I didn't kill her, and you didn't kill her. She was the only person that caused her death. She did it. Because she decided to take the fucking Raven to the back of her head, knowing the consequences. She was like, oh, it's gonna be fine. But, like, Clara, you know there is a chance you're probably gonna die doing this. And Clara's like, yeah, but it's don't worry about that. And it's like, that's what kill her, but that was Clara. And like, that's the thing. That's the point they're trying to make. Is that it's not that Clara got... I mean, yes, Clara got super reckless and all that stuff, but it's not like... It's not that we should have stopped that, in a way, because Clara doing that, she actually enjoyed her life. That's kind of the message I guess trying to give. Or not really a message, but it's like, this is how we are approaching Clara as well. Is that Clara was a person that she didn't give a shit, and she just did the stuff that she liked to do, and she just had fun, and she didn't give a fuck about what could happen. She didn't worry. She didn't care about the consequences. And that ended up killing her. But Clara, she said it, she wouldn't change any of it. She didn't want to change that. She was like, I accept this. I did this, and like, there's a reason why I did it. And like, that's it. Clara became this person, and that's what she wanted to be, and that's fine. And it's like, she was a much more reckless version of herself. She became someone who like, yes, it ended up costing her her life, but she wouldn't change it because she enjoyed her life. That's it. Like, she enjoyed this person that she became. She enjoyed taking the risks. She enjoyed all of that. And it's like, it ended up costing her life, but it's not Capaldi's fault for not stopping that, for not stopping Clara from becoming someone that was happy. And it's not Schilder's fault for doing that weird, crazy shit either. It was Clara's choice to be that, and she died being that, but she accepted it. And that's the thing. Clara accepted it, the Doctor didn't. And that's what led up to everything here. So, okay, like, again, I just want to close this thought, but like, looking at the entire progression of Clara and the Doctor's relationship, it not only makes sense, I think it's wonderful. I think it's a wonderful relationship we have, actually. I really like where her character went, I have to say. I think she has the best companion character progression or character development. I think she has the best one. I guess Amy went through some stuff, some development, but I didn't feel too strongly about Amy ever, essentially. She's not, like, okay, so Clara's not my favorite companion, but I do believe that she has the best character progression. I think she has, like, the best entire journey than other companions did. And given that might be because she just had more time. But, like, comparing her to Amy, they had the same time. Amy was 2.5 seasons, Clara was 2.5 seasons. It's the same time. Clara is way better than Amy in progression, character progression factor. Whether or not which companion is your favorite, I believe is subjective. Mine would be either Martha or Donna with Tennant. But I do think that Clara has the best progression, just straight up. Because, like, so the place where I was with Clara when she just showed up in the show is very different to the place I was with Clara halfway through Series 8, which was very different to the place I was with Clara at the end of Series 8, which was very different to the place I was with Clara through, like, the entirety of Series 9, and then leading up to this finale. I think Clara is a really interesting companion, a really interesting character. I am happy that her character was actually, like, so good in the ways, in like, the places they took her, essentially. The progression, again. I think Clara developed really well. And so it's not only that Clara developed really well, because you can say like, okay, if she hadn't become reckless, it would be better because she wouldn't have died or something like that. And it's like, that's fair. But I like that it's not only the character progression, the evolution of Clara, but also the fact that they managed to build 2 full seasons around this idea, around Clara herself and her relationship with the Doctor. They managed to build 2 full seasons based on that. Because you can say only Series 9 is like, the storyline of Series 9 was the relationship. Series 8 kind of doesn't matter. I think Series 8 actually matters a lot. Because I think half of their relationship was in Series 8. Makes sense. It's 2 seasons, 1 season. Yes, half. But like, half of their relationship was in Series 8. And that's what most of the bumps were. And then it culminates on Dark Water, I feel like. When the Doctor is like Clara betrays everything the Doctor stood for. He says that. And he was like, do you think I care so little about you that would make a difference? That, I feel, is the moment, a very crucial moment in the relationship where trust set, just fully set. I will take a fucking bullet for you set. Like, that is the moment their relationship completely cemented. You, in one line, told me exactly the way the Doctor feels about Clara. And since we often see Clara and see what she's doing and what her thoughts are more than the Doctor, because the Doctor is more like a mysterious character most of the time, we already have the Clara view. So then we get the Doctor view, and it's like, okay, set. Then in Death in Heaven, they lie to each other for each other's good. It's like, okay, that's how much they care. Last Christmas, that's how much they care. And then the entirety of Series 9 feels like the aftermath of that. But Clara starts to become like a slightly different version of Clara, which is like a little more problematic. And the Doctor is like, maybe chill down a little bit. But she doesn't, and that's what ends up in this. But it's like, the fact that they managed to build many scenes in Series 8, as well as the entirety of Series 9 final plotline and just overall arcing plot. It's fantastic. It's fantastic that they managed to build so much around this character and the relationship these 2 characters had. So I think they did an amazing job with Clara, but more importantly, they did an amazing job at building around Clara. Writing these episodes, thinking about the storylines around Clara. This dialogues, everything. And of course, really importantly, the character of the Doctor, the 12th Doctor. Like I said, like, he feels so vulnerable. But, yeah, he just feels so vulnerable. So the moment Clara's gone, he'll take 4.5 billion years of hell in order to save her. To have a shot at saving her, by the way. It's like, holy shit. I actually got like really sidetracked. Talking about this episode. And I just started talking about everything. I might cut some stuff and make a different video. I don't know. Like, I haven't talked about this episode at all. I've only talked about Clara and the Doctor and the relationship and all that stuff. I haven't talked about the episode. So, okay. Okay. I think I talked enough about this Clara thing, the relationship. I'm gonna talk about the episode itself. So I like that we went to Gallifrey. I like that we have people that know who the Doctor is. He showed up on the barn, and that one was like, oh, they're gonna kill you. But then they just covered for him. Like, and he was just drinking soup, just chilling with this woman and like every other person in like the orphanage. I believe it's an orphanage. Like everyone there, just like, "Oh, doctor," but nobody was saying anything. And then the military wants to get him, and because they want to extract information of the hybrid and all that stuff, because he literally just made his way out of the fucking confession dial the hard way instead of confessing. And I do like that, like, they try to extract the information from the doctor. Of course, Rassilon tries to do it, Lord President Rassilon. Hail Rassilon. He tries to do it, but nobody is on board with that. Like, he's like, fire! Kill the doctor! Nobody wants to do it, because everyone is like, he's a war hero. He saved the fucking planet, dude. We're not gonna kill him. So, they just fucking push this dude just off. So Rassilon's gone. I'm not sure if he died or not. He might have died. He might have not. Because he like got thrown out of like the end of the universe or some shit like that. I don't know. I think the High Council might have done the same. I don't know. But like everyone just became on board with the Doctor, because it's like everyone is like, the Doctor saved us, dude. Which I think is really cool, because I always wanted to see this. I always wanted to have, like, I wanted to see Gallifrey back again. I wanted to see the Time Lords again, and I wanted to see, like, how would they react to the Doctor, because the Doctor has done a lot of shit, and especially when they had the Doctor, like, oof, dude, because like we don't really see the Time Lords in the modern Doctor Who, because when Eccleston shows up, it's like, yeah, they're all gone. We get to see them a little bit in End of Time, only a tiny bit though, and then we get to see them a little bit in Day of the Doctor, but that's it. So I do want them to actually be back. I don't know if they're back. I don't know if they will be back anytime soon. But I actually do want to see them back somehow. I do want to see them back, and that's the thing. They're gonna be like, "Oh, Doctor, you did that thing. Fuck you!" And it's like, yeah, well, this is what the Doctor does. Like, let's not forget, the reason why the second Doctor regenerated was because, like, the Time Lords were like, "What the fuck, dude? What the fuck is wrong with you?" Now, to be fair, I didn't watch the War Games. I think I watched like a little bit of it, but I haven't watched the whole story, so I don't actually know what happened in the War Games. But I do know that the reason why he regenerated into the third Doctor was because the Time Lords were angry with him and forced him to regenerate. They were like, "Fuck you, we're sentencing you to forced regeneration." And they were like, "Alright, choose a face." And he was like, "No, I can't be that one. That's too skinny. That's too fat." And it's like, "No." And they were like, "Alright, it's going to be random." Pap. And then he showed up regenerated in... Was it Spearhead from Space? I didn't watch it. I was thinking of watching that, actually. But he regenerated into the third Doctor. And he was exiled to Earth. He was sentenced to just be exiled on Earth. So, like... And, like, that's the thing, again, and then I think about the 5 Doctors. I think he saved whatever from Rassilon or some shit like that. I don't know. So they were like, "Doctor, you can be Lord President," or something like that. And then he was like, "Oh, yeah, sure, let me go back to my TARDIS for a little bit." And then he ran away. And then he was also, like, on trial, doing Trial of the Time Lord. That was an entire season, wasn't it, for the 6th Doctor? So it's like, yeah, like, the relationship the Doctor and the Time Lords have is all over the place. Every time, just... So I don't think that this shit that happened just now, I don't think it matters too much. When it in the context of Time Lords and the relationship with the Doctor, I don't think it matters too much. We can totally have them back, and we have eventually a point where it's like, yeah, we're chill, or something like that. We can totally have that. So I was a very big fan of that whole Gallifrey portion of the story. So they reference, what if the hybrid is just you two? And he was like, no. And then Ashildon was like, how did you meet her? And it was like, Missy. And it was like, yeah, Missy, the fucking god of chaos. She made you two match each other based on that. Like, and she's actually, like, right. Because, like, during Death in Heaven, like, Missy does say, like, this is why you made you two go together. Because, like, Clara would ask you to go to hell in order to do what she wanted. And, like, she would ask you, and the doctor would say yes. And then the doctor did essentially the same. He would go to hell for her. So it's like, Jesus. I have to say I'm not a big fan of Ashildr. Because they keep drilling Ashildr as if she's just like this godly entity. Because she's just immortal. But like the thing is that I don't think she's indestructible, isn't she? And you're just telling me that she never actually like got killed during the time that she lived, which was the end of the universe? She never died? Maybe I got it wrong. Maybe she can't be killed, no matter how hard I try. But at that point, it's like, okay, so here's the thing. If you can just mix a regular human girl with a little chip from this, like, one random throwaway alien race, that's all it takes to make an immortal? Really? Like, I'm not a big fan of Ashildr because I feel like I have to suspend my disbelief too much. Like, I am willing to go to a certain spot with this show. But I think Ashildr goes a little bit too much past the point where I'm willing to accept it. She's like, it's like, really? End of the universe? You made it here? Not even Jack did. He died as a head in like the year 5 billion or some shit. Like, and he became a giant head. Like, that's what I would have expected, that you would become Ashildr and you would die at some point. But no, you stayed you stayed forever alive, permanently young, until the end of the universe, which is like the year 5 trillion, I think. If we go by the rules, if we go by believing David Tennant in the Utopia episode, they went to the year 5 trillion, I think, which was the end of the universe, I think. So, yeah, really? And I think they said that she's not indestructible, so she could die if she was killed, just not of old age. And it's like, really? You survive all the way to here? I don't believe it. I could be getting that wrong, but even then, it's like, I believe the Jack thing. I don't believe the Ashildr thing. That's a little bit too much. But whatever. Ashildr kind of doesn't matter here. Honestly, Ashildr kind of doesn't matter. So, moving on from Ashildr. I do like that the Time Lord, like the soldier dude, the bald man, he regenerated into a woman, into a black bald woman, and she looked very cool. I like that, and she was like, "Oh, thank God I'm back." That past one was my only male regeneration. I think she said. She was like, "I don't know how you handled all of that ego," and I was like, I get the impression you have more ego right now than you did as that guy, because that guy was kind of like a pushover. Not entirely, but a little bit, you know? But well, we don't know these characters too well. But that also might have been the joke. So, there. I think she's cool. Hopefully we'll see them again. I think we're gonna see them again. Like, I think we're gonna see these Time Lords people again. Also, like, the Karn lady, the Sisterhood of Karn lady, the one lady, we know which one. She seemed to be like having a much more important role in this episode than she should have, because I don't know what place she has in like Gallifreyan society. I don't think she has any. She's from a different planet. It's like, yeah, what are you doing here? But she's acting like she's the one in control at some point. I guess no one is really in control, because the Doctor was in control and then he pieced the fuck out. So, well, I guess the Time Lord, like the black lady, the black soldier lady, would be the one in charge now. Okay, I just like seeing all these characters back, because I like having characters that know who the Doctor is, and they have like a degree of respect to him to some degree. Like I like that. By the way, this is a new phone. I got a new phone the other day, because it was my birthday, and it's a cool ass phone. Look at my. I don't know if the camera focuses on my lock screen, but it's really cool. It's Killer Queen from JoJo, and I actually I didn't draw it. It's a piece of fan art, but I did do the thing that it makes it so it's coming out of like a wall, and this is my lock screen. It's cool as shit. I like it a lot. I like this phone a lot. So I had that suspicion, but I got it confirmed by reading the wiki, because again, I'm not very good with audio processing in general. So I didn't actually pick up on that initially. But the song that Capaldi plays on his guitar is the theme for Clara. It's a song that he titled Clara, like right here, but it is Clara's theme, just played on a guitar. I think that's the coolest shit, because that's a little bit of four wall breaking, but it's really good because it's a theme song that became part of the narrative. It totally did, and I actually think that's awesome. I think that's awesome. So I'm very happy that was the thing. I'm very happy to pick up on that. So I guess we'll never know what Clara told the Doctor, but we only get to hear his memories in song version, but we never actually will know what Clara told him, I guess. So I mean, we can assume some stuff, like, I love you, it's fine, stuff like that. I don't know. Dude, the fact that Clara says, you don't know who she is. In fact, she couldn't even be me. And the Doctor is like, no, if I saw Clara, I would absolutely know. And that's when Clara starts crying. That's when Clara actually, it hits her, because it's like, no, he will never remember me. It fucking sucks, dude. It fucking sucks. So Clara's just traveling with a shoulder until she decides to, you know what, I'm just gonna go die now. I think that's actually really fun. That's really fun. Because I guess it leaves a door open for Clara and a shoulder. Not a shoulder. Because a shoulder is the hybrid, and she needs to not age in order to maintain the magic of her character. So this came out in 2015. Yeah, it's been 4 years. I don't know if she looks any older. Well, 4 years is not a lot, but if she ages too much, it will ruin the magic of the character, and I don't think you can bring her back. Clara, on the other hand, I think theoretically could come back and say, oh yeah, I haven't gone to Gallifrey to die yet. So I guess they could do that for a 60-year anniversary if they wanted to do that, or whatever. So they could, but I don't know if they will. This just this is weird, because it's we de-killed Clara. We killed Clara in episode 10. We killed Clara in episode 10. We have unkilled her in episode 12. Now she's just flying off into whatever in a magic diner, just flying away and just having adventures on her own until she actually finally dies. When she decides to go to Gallifrey, so they can teleport her, so she can just go die finally. So that's the thing. A shoulder is with her. Yeah, sure. That feels like a good ending to this character. It feels like an ending rather than just death. Because that's the thing, when Clara died in episode 10, I don't think it felt much like an ending. It felt more like, fuck, Clara died. And we did have those minutes that make it a little bit better and more definitive when she talked to the doctor. But then that became the storyline, and then we have this. But she did get a much better ending this time. And we did get to see her more. Like, we did get to see what she has to think about her death more, I guess. Because what she does is that she essentially comes back and she's like, I'm cool with dying. Like, at one point in the end, near the end, she's like, yeah, you have to go die. And Ashilda was like, I'm sorry. And Clara was like, why does everyone keep saying I'm sorry? I don't mind. And it's like, yeah, Clara does not fear death. Clara doesn't care. And that, in a way, is the magic of Clara Oswald. That is the magic of the person Clara Oswald was. And that's it. It's like, yeah, Clara Oswald won't care. And she's just going to have fun until she has to go. And when she goes, it's like, well, there you go. I had fun, you know? And I can appreciate that a lot. I actually can appreciate that a lot. It's kind of a mentality I sometimes have. Or most of the time I have, too. But I do like what they did with her. And I do like that Clara is... This entire episode, she didn't care about going back to dying. She cared about the doctor not doing all the crazy shit that he was doing. Because that's the thing, is that the reason why the doctor was memory wiped... well, the reason why Clara was supposed to be memory wiped is so the doctor could save her and she wouldn't know anything. And she would just continue to live her life somehow. But the reason why Clara memory wiped the doctor was that the doctor would just... Dude, it's fine. Like, I'm fine. I don't mind dying eventually. I'm just gonna go die. I don't... Like, for me, it's fine. For you, it's not. And, like, that's the thing about the 12th Doctor. It's like, until the end of this episode, he didn't let go. He was unable to accept the fact that Clara has to die. So he got memory wiped. That was the only plausible way. The 12th Doctor cares so much about Clara that he just... The only way to make him stop was to just make him forget that Clara even exists. Well, not that she even existed, but that make him forget who Clara is and forget all of the emotions he has about her. So it's like, no, you need to chill down. It's fine, Doctor. It's fine. Chill down, you know? Because the Doctor was willing to go much further than anyone should ever do for Clara, which was, so, that's that. I think we talk about the main thing a lot. Other stuff that this episode did, the Gallifrey thing was cool. I like that we have an old TARDIS just show up. And I like little nods like, the old TARDIS is just the old TARDIS. The insides of the old TARDIS looks like an old classic Doctor Who TARDIS. And I like it a lot. I do like that TARDIS. It's very simplistic, very retro, and I do like it. It's very white. I like the round things, you know? I actually wouldn't mind if we change TARDISes more often. I think that would be pretty dope. What other cool shit did they do? I like what the Doctor said before he forgot. Like, run like hell. I like that. Run like hell because you always need to. Laugh at everything because it's always funny. Never be cruel and never be cowardly. If you ever are, always make amends. Never eat pears. They're too squishy and they always make your chin wet. That one's really important. Write it down. And then at the end, he's the one saying, it's okay. It's okay. I went too far. I break all my rules. This is fine. I have to do this. This is right. I accept it. I like that. I like that so much. Because, like, I like this because it's like, we always have, like, the Doctor win, or the Doctor succeed somehow at what he's trying to do. This finale, it's like, no, what the Doctor is doing is wrong. What he's doing is wrong. And he doesn't get to win. He doesn't get the thing that he wants. He doesn't succeed at it. And in fact, he gets memory wiped. And it's like, yeah. And even he accepts it at the end. He's like, no, this is right. I went too far. I broke all my rules. This is what I get. Because he realizes it. Everyone realizes it. So it's like, oh. The fact that we have this finale going super hard on the 12th Doctor as a character and Clara. But mostly the 12th Doctor. Like, that's the thing. Is that I talk a lot about Clara. Because I really like her, what they did with the character. And I like how they influenced the world around her character. But that, like, I don't know if I talk too much about the 12th Doctor as a character. Because, like, I guess I talk about what needed to be talked. Which is, like, he goes too far. He's too stubborn. He's too emotional. Like, he is very vulnerable. And he has to do this. He has to save Clara. Like, he has to go do anything for that. It's like, oh my god. Like, come on. I do like that, we had that diner. And it was the same diner where Amy and Rory, when he was with Amy and Rory and River, was it? In Series 6. Because this entire thing in Nevada, USA reminded me of Series 6. Because in Series 6 at the beginning, in The Impossible Astronaut, we had the Doctor hang out with Amy and Rory and River on that diner. And I'm not sure if it was the same diner, like the same set. But it was that diner. And it reminded me of it because I think it's the same place too in USA. So, and the Doctor said it like we were here with Clara, and then it was like no, stupid. That was Amy and Rory, and I'm like, oh yeah, it was. So I like that little nod. What other stuff? I like that Clara wrote "Run, you clever boy, and be a doctor." The "Run, you clever boy" being a reference to her. In Series 7, she said that. And be a doctor. That's a nice addition. And I like that he grabs his velvet coat. Like, it's not my favorite Capaldi outfit, but it's really good. I'm not going to complain about it. It's fantastic. Because I like the casual hoodie and all that stuff. But I do like this, like, more sophisticated coat. And it looks really cool, the velvet coat. And then a fucking World of Warcraft magic wand shows up out of the TARDIS. And it's like, yeah, here's your new screwdriver, bitch. And I'm like, yeah. Yeah, oh my god, I want it so bad. Like, dude, I regret not having like a, I don't know, like a 50,000 subscribers channel. Otherwise, I would be getting mailbags with this fucking thing. Because this screwdriver is the shit. I like this screwdriver, honestly. Because, like, I like the Eccleston David Tennant screwdriver was like too simple or like too I don't know, but it didn't do much for me. It was just like, all right, he has a tool, right? The Matt Smith one, it was like, all right, that is clearly merchandise. That is clearly a toy that is supposed to be sold, and it's like, yeah, and the Doctor Who, and it's like that was made to be merchandise, but it was like a little bit too much, you know? It felt like too much. I wanted something more like the previous one. It was like smaller, and it was like, yeah, that's better. It kind of looks like a pen, maybe more than a pen, but you know, it's not too much. The other one looked like a fucking maze. It looked like a maze, and then it grew up, and then you open, and it did noises and light, and it was like, what the fuck was that? So I was never a big fan of the Matt Smith screwdriver. This one, though, I'm looking at it right now. First of all, like, it looks like a World of Warcraft wand. Like, don't get me wrong. This clearly is merch. This clearly was designed to be merch. But the thing is that the previous one was merch that I didn't want, and this one is merch that I want. This I would buy, this screwdriver. it does like light around it. Like the entire third, like one entire third of the top of the screwdriver is just lights, and it does lights on like every section, and it's fantastic. I love it. That's my favorite. It looks like a World of Warcraft 1. That's exactly what it looks like. I have one in my mind right now, and that's what it looks like. Because it's like, it's blue and golden and like has silver things, and it does look like it's doing like magic at the top because of the light. It looks like fucking frost magic. It's like, yeah, that's totally a wand. A WoW wand. So yeah, I do like that. I do like that a lot. Oh, the TARDIS. The TARDIS, when it finally shows up at the end of the episode, it has all the graffiti that Rixie painted on the TARDIS, and I'm glad that I was told to check the after credit scene for episode 10, because I initially forgot, or not that I forgot, I didn't know it was there. So then I was told, hey, there's an after credit scene, and I was like, gotcha. And then I watched it before watching Heaven Sent, and I was like, come on, like nothing happens in it, but it hurts a little bit, you know. But it actually came back around in the finale here in Hellbent. At the very end, just get the TARDIS with a bunch of nice flowers on it, and just a portrait of Clara that Rixie drew. And it's like, I like that. I like that a lot. I like that nice, like, it's not really a tie-in. It's like, this world is like events connected in a way. And I didn't expect them to do it, but they did it, and it felt nice, you know? Yeah. I guess that's it. I guess that's it. I guess that's all we needed to be said. Oh, so at the okay, so in the second episode, during The Witch's Apprentice, at the very end, I remember, we had Missy. She was being trapped by Daleks, and she was like, oh, I had a great idea. And I initially thought, oh, she's gonna do some shit, she's gonna take over, she's gonna become the Hybrid, something like that. Which, given, could still happen, but what I didn't actually realize is that she could have been making an allusion to the beginning of the episode, The Witch is Familiar, when she explains that the Doctor, like, oh, if the Doctor was in the situation where he gets shot by laser or whatever, what would he do? And it's like, well, he would teleport at the exact same moment that lasers would touch him, so it would look like they kill him, but they didn't actually kill him. He just teleported away. And she was like, oh, that's a really clever idea or something like that. And Missy has done it a number of times. So at the end of that episode, what she could have been saying was like, oh, I'm just gonna teleport away. Which she probably did. But I'm still not letting on that idea. On the idea that Missy had another idea to do. She actually did something else with the Daleks and whatnot. And yeah, I'm not letting that go away. I'm holding on to that theory. Holding on onto it to Series 10. So, yeah. I guess that's all I could say about... Not even this episode. I guess that's all I could say about this season. I didn't really rank the episodes or anything, but I did like talk a lot just now. It was like over an hour of just this shit. My throat hurts a little bit, so I guess I'm done talking for today. So I guess that's it. Really. Thank you so much for watching this episode of a Doctor Who reaction. It was a really good one. This was an amazing finale. If you want to see the next Christmas episode, maybe, you can check out my Patreon. Full link is also available there. You can check all the other links in the description. Like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff, and yeah. See you next time. Take care, everyone.